Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia, if you're new here. And today I have my friend, Antoinette, that's joining us. We're going to talk about boy mom stuff. We're going to talk about, our little hustles that we've got going on, our business, our passions that we have going on. So pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee or drink. I have both. I've got coffee and I've got my diet water flavor thingy majig.
Ooh.
So grab and come on over and dive into our conversation. So Antoinette, say hi to the viewers and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to say thank you, Olivia. You're amazing. Thank you for having me, and so excited to be here.
Yay, thank you. You're amazing. So I'm going to brag on you a little bit. So we hung out a couple of times at two networking events. The first one was the Pedal Bar downtown Detroit. My friend Cindy had that, and we were both there, and we had an amazing time, right?
So much fun. Yes, I first of all, I love Detroit. And it's just so fun just to actually go downtown, even though we live here, right? But it's like, okay, you feel like you're a tourist in your own
Yes.
city because you don't
Yes.
do that often.
Yeah.
And it's me being in the suburbs and me trying to get downtown, it's rare. But I love it. So we had a great time meeting new people and just chit-chatting. I absolutely loved it.
And checking out some new spots because some of those stops I wasn't familiar with the restaurants, and that little, I think it was like an 80s club, but they had 80s video games and all that. I didn't know any of those
Yeah,
existed.
I think it was Checkers. I think it was
Mhm.
called Checkers. Yeah,
Yeah,
we have to go there again. It was so much fun.
that was
And then
so much
I think
fun.
I checked out upstairs
Hmm.
and you can kind of see the city and all of that. And speaking of, boys, they have video game, they love video games and having
Yeah.
them check that out. I mean, I think
Hmm.
that definitely would be a family fun outing for sure.
100%. But the best part of the pedal bar event that we were at is they were playing 80s and 90s music, and we were rocking out like crazy.
I know the driver or bicycle rider. I don't know the host. I forgot his name, which is horrible because I think I was saying it all night. But he was jamming it out, and I think he was in his 20s, and
Yes.
he was bringing it back, and it was in the summer, right? And all I
Yeah.
remember it was summertime, and I'm like, yes,
Summertime.
this is it.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're pedaling, we're having a good time, and I think it was Morgan Wallen night too that evening.
Yes, it
So
was.
it was
Yes, it was.
country, yes. So it was
So
nuts.
crowded.
It was such a
Hmm.
good evening for it.
Yeah, and I was bummed because I didn't know, and I could have so put on my pink cowgirl boots and my hat. I didn't know, so I
Yeah,
wasn't for the country theme, and I was so
we
mad.
were prepared.
No.
We're in our, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So that was super cool. And then we ran into each other at another networking event at BFF. And
Yeah.
you're such a girl's girl, and I love that because we had to like all do this kind of round robin thing. And I was in the back. I was one of the last people to like be asked. And I stood up, and my water bottle was right at the end of my chair, and I kind of stumbled a little bit. And you're like, "Girl, I got you," and you were trying to catch me.
Well, every time you come into the room, I feel like, oh my gosh, I need to hug you, or, you're just so bright, So
Um,
I feel like connected already,
yeah.
pink. I love the color pink too. So, so yes, I feel like you and I have something going on. So,
Oh, yeah, we definitely got something going on. Oh my gosh. So I just want to thank you for your time for coming on my channel. And we're going to dive into some conversation. You're a boy mom. I'm a boy mom. Tell us a little bit about your boy mom journey.
well, I actually grew up with three older sisters, And me having two boys, of course, is a surprise. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with two boys? I'm a girly girl, and I love pink, poofy stuff, all of that. I'm like, I don't even know anything about boys, but you take, you're blessed with what you have, and I absolutely love them. And my husband is amazing. We have them in sports. Right now, they're 15 and 8. And I think during the hardest time, like during the pandemic, is them transitioning, changing, the changes of them, especially my teenager being a teenager, having them be not a baby to a kid and actually having them be on their own. And
Yeah.
it's just totally different, a totally different relationship. And that's what I'm in right now. And I am learning. And, with the first child, with the second child, or, if I had a third child, it would have been a boy. I know that. But yes, so, socks everywhere, all of video games, like all of the boy stuff everywhere. So watching the Barbie movie, I went with my best friend, all of the girly stuff. I have, a goddaughter, I have nieces, and that's where I get all my girl stuff,
Yeah,
from.
your girl
Definitely.
energy. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
Yes.
awesome. Yeah, so you have the two boys, and one is 8 and one's 15. And I have three boys. There, my span is a little bit different. My oldest boy's turning 24 this year.
Oh
And
my goodness.
I have my middle son, Gabe, he's turning 16 this year, and Izzy is turning 11 this year. And I agree with you, like that teenage phase is rough, right?
Yes.
That's when my boys start to pull away, where they were like touchy-feely before and wanted to spend a lot of time with me before. In their teenage years, they're like, give me some space, mom. And
Yes.
that's an adjustment for moms. Wouldn't you agree?
I definitely agree. And I was speaking with a gentleman, and he is an older gentleman. And of course, he has children who are in their 20s. And he said, just keep talking to them. No matter what, if they don't talk back, just keep talking to them and don't take it personal, because it's just, what they're going through in the morning, in the afternoon. And, just keep talking to them. And that's what I have in my head. I'm like, okay, he's a teenager. This is what he's going through. He doesn't want, like you said, the touchy feely, the hugs, but I get that from my 8-year-old.
Yes. Yeah, that's good advice that that gentleman shared with you, to keep talking to them. I practice that. My 24-year-old, I text him all the time, and when he comes around, he does talk, but he's not as talkative. But
Mhm.
we find common ground, like things that he's interested in, and I try to have those kinds of conversations. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting phase. Here's a question. And this might be a little bit biased, but you have two boys. Do you think you would have, what's the word, have more relatable time if you had girls versus boys?
I know, isn't that funny? I go, so what would it, every time I ask my husband, I go, what if we had girls? What if we had girls? And then I kind of like brush it off, because I'm like, okay, well, God didn't give me girls for a reason,
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
I guess, that's, my sister has a girl. Well, two of my sisters have girls, and it's just different, So everybody has different paths, and they have different relationships with their children. And that's what I see like all the time, especially growing up. But yeah, I mean, I guess you can say that you would have a different, relationship, but you would never know. And you just
yeah,
make the best of it with,
yeah,
who you have. And I wouldn't, change anything.
yeah. So I'm a girly girl too, like you, and I have a daughter. I have an older daughter too, but it was a completely different dynamic. But I wouldn't trade anything with having three boys and just one girl. In my head, that's what I wanted, only girls. But God knew what
Mhm.
He. because my boys on a whole nother level, like my 24-year-old, we talk fitness and nutrition and stuff like that. And they are so much more active than my daughter. Like we go hiking and they challenge me, like in basketball. They don't play with me like I'm a girl when we play basketball. And so I feel like my boys challenge me in a different way, especially like athletics and, that kind of stuff. And just the whole dynamic is different, so I wouldn't trade anything. If I could, I wouldn't trade it.
You are right. I think the boys do make me more tough and with the sports and everything, which, changes you,
For
so
sure.
like I said, I grew up with girls, with, my sisters and things like that. But yeah, having them, makes me want to be a tough mom.
Yeah, yeah. And we need it. We need a little toughness to handle these boys.
You are right.
So on another topic, now your professional arena is you're a digital creator, right?
Currently, yes. I wasn't like that all the time. It definitely happened during the pandemic. I had lost my job, and where I'm at right now is pretty much because of that. Like that, everything kind of changed and shifted, my priorities and what I wanted to do in my future, with family and career wise. And I'm still growing and glowing. That's what I call it,
Oh, yeah,
growing and
yes,
glowing.
yes. Uh,
But yes, currently, yes.
so tell the viewers a little bit, what kind of digital creator are you? Social media or you email? What kind of digital creation do you do and offer the services that you offer?
Right. So right now I am specifically Instagram um focused. I
Mhm.
actually started doing that solely not too long ago. So
Okay.
previous previous um I started writing for Detroit Mom, like during the pandemic and everything. I lost my job and then just started, dabbling with mom blogging, like a lot of stay-at-home moms, and it got more, I got more involved and a little bit more obsessive, I guess you would say, with the photos and things like that. And I just wanted it to be more of like a hobby and kind of figure things out. My amazing husband, he's awesome. He supports me with everything that I do.
That's awesome.
So yes, can't do what I do without him.
Mhm.
But really, I started, writing for Detroit Mom, following all the cool mom blogs here in the Metro Detroit area, and then just it kind of became more of something that I wanted to do more full time. And I knew I wanted to also have a full time job at one point. So I also started, and then when we met with the pedal bar, I also was working for a nonprofit, a children's charity, where I also did their social media and helped fundraise for, and it was amazing. So that's kind of like where my whole social media, digital creation job morphed into something what I'm doing now. The whole idea of what I am, clients that I'm serving right now is more of small businesses or businesses that need help with their social media strategy. Mainly
Mhm.
Instagram that will relate to Facebook.
Right.
And it's basically, helping them launch, their Instagram reels in any type of fun creation and help them engage their audience, and also create more visibility as well as business, and make their business more profitable.
Right.
So I think that is definitely something that the content creation where I can help.
Yeah. So, for my viewers, if you are a small business owner, or say maybe your husband is a small business owner, digital content creation is a thing. It's a big, big thing.
Hmm.
And if you're trying to push out your products and your services, trying to get more visibility and just wanting to make more sales and stuff, social media marketing is not going anywhere, right? And so we have a segment of our population who are business minded, that are intimidated by,
Yes.
advertising on social media, by, what do I do? I can't post every day, all these kinds of
Right.
things. And so your services come in handy here, where if they don't know what to do, or they just have questions, or, they're just needing some direction, like a little bit of vision and goal setting, your services that you offer comes in perfectly where you can help them, teach them strategies, or even manage their social media for them for a time period. So what you're doing is viable, it's important. Like, if you have a small business, it's necessary. So yes, you may be starting, but you have more followers on Instagram than I do, so actually we need to set up a session. You and I need to set up a session where you can give me some pointers, because yes, I post, but I am not like a professional. And I watch some of your videos and your reels, and girl, they're always entertaining. The lighting is always good, so you definitely have a
Aw.
step ahead of me, so I appreciate that. And any little feedback you can give me, little tools you can give me, I would appreciate. But that's a good segue into, because this is your space and you're great at this, can you drop a couple of tips and tricks that small business owners, or even just somebody who's trying to get more visibility on Instagram, can you drop a couple of tips?
Yeah, definitely. No, first of all, I really appreciate you giving me that compliment.
Oh,
Um,
girl, it's
it's
true.
it's really, I believe it's kind of in my head. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like an artist, right? You're like you don't really know what you're doing unless you actually just put it out there. So everything, and that's why they call it creatives. Um, but a lot of tips. It's really easy, like you say, like posting pretty much every day. I think that's kind of, and whether it's part of, say you have a business who is a pet salon, so posting cute pet for the day, this is what we have, or nail trimmings for $5, like just any type of promotion that you can do once a day would help. Or even something real, that you have, this is my struggle, what I'm doing today. And then you have dogs kind of like, running around or barking in the background. So just something fun or something like that. That would be a great tip also, for any type of social media, but also just keeping it light and fun too, because a lot of people love entertainment. I
Yes.
love the music aspect of it because I love dancing and all that fun stuff. So also putting some type of background or trending background to it, because that is kind of like my number one tip, is trying to see what the trending audio is for the week, and then saving it and putting it on a reel, or even something small. Like it doesn't have to be a 10 not 10-minute, but a long reel. Like it just be like a small reel with a little bit of a trending audio.
Yeah.
So that's fun too. But yeah.
Yeah, those are two really good, valuable tips. So thank you for sharing that. I want to talk a little bit about, so you have boys, you're doing the content creation, digital content creation. How are you balancing? Are you finding, like me, we wear a lot of hats, right? Family, business, all the different things that we're doing. are you, have you noticed that you've had to work at balancing work and family life?
Yeah, I don't think I'm doing it yet. To be honest. I know, right? So I feel like I've been transitioning a lot these past, 3 years still. So I think I'm in that stage, like I said, of growing and glowing because I'm still building my portfolio and still having, my teenage son, and he's going to be in driver's training soon. So the whole balancing is just, I think I'm thriving at the moment. So, um, but yeah, so as long as I'm eating and drinking and the boys are eating and drinking, I think I'm good. But I
Yeah.
think the balancing is making sure that, you have exercise, which thank God, I found something that I absolutely love, and also thank my husband because he's such a good supporter for that. And then also, a good meal and family and friends.
Yeah, yeah. No, those are really good. I like that you talked about like exercising, because that address one of the things that us moms struggle with is we put everybody's needs above ours, right? And sometimes
Yes.
to our detriment, to our mental health, to our physical, poor health, all of those kinds of things. So I love that you mentioned that you're working out, like you found some sort of fitness thing that's working for you, your husband's supporting that, because that's really important. We're the caregivers of our family. And so we can give more, and we're in a healthy space when we take care of ourselves too. We're not putting our needs above the needs of our family, but our needs need to be equal, like on equal level. And I love that you're making time to work out. I also love that where you talk about, hey, they're eating, they're drinking. I'm eating, I'm drinking, because that's important. Meal planning and meal prepping and grocery shopping is such a huge part of our roles as mom, especially
Yes.
boy mom, because they eat like, I called my children, my boys, I call them like a vacuum cleaner. They suck
Oh my
and
gosh.
eat, or Pac-Man, they eat and eat and eat. So like the whole meal thing, that's a whole situation.
Yes, I cannot produce enough, meals for them. So it's definitely true.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah. And I love too that you mentioned that you haven't mastered it yet, because, sometimes as women, we feel like we need to put on this facade that we have everything together. My household runs perfect. I've got the perfect life. And we know that that doesn't exist, right? So I love that you were transparent in saying, I haven't mastered that yet. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. And girl, let me tell you, I have me and my husband, we have a total of 5 kids ranging from 27 to 10, right?
Wow.
We're thriving. We're surviving.
Yes, you are amazing. I cannot, like, I was just telling my youngest, I go, what if I had three? I don't even know. But so
Yes.
that's you.
It's not easy, and I think in some seasons and in some areas we do better than other areas, but
Yeah.
there's always a learning curve, right? Kids are different nowadays, and each of your children are different, and there are different seasons of life. You mentioned change in career, change in, a work path. There's all these things that
Mhm.
happen where we may feel like, oh yeah, I'm good. And then pandemic happened and whoa, switch it up
What
on
is
us.
going on now? Right now, I got to turn and like pivot, and yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that you were so transparent in saying, hey, I'm still working on that. And I am too, because I am a person, I'm really transparent with, my struggles and stuff. We're not perfect. None of us have arrived. And I love that you're sharing that with our viewers to offer hope and encouragement. Like, you're never going to be perfect, right? You're never, ever going to be perfect at being a wife, at being a mom, at your job. It's a continuous learning process. And so show yourself some grace, right? Pick your battles
Mhm.
and just know that you're not in it alone. We're all like trying to figure this thing out,
Yeah.
right? So speaking of this whole learning curve, can you share 2 tips that you've learned that you think would be beneficial to other boy moms? 2 tips or mom hack, if you will. Mhm.
Interesting. Yes. I guess I think laundry every day. I think do one load every day.
Uh-huh.
Or multitasking definitely exists, but does it exist? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you try to do it all, like everything's up in the air and then everything will fall. So,
Yes. Uh-huh.
but
Yes.
I think those two definitely are pretty good ones. But yeah, and then another one that I really love too is be where your feet are. And that's for, I heard that I think on a podcast, but is be where your feet are. And I needed to hear that a while ago because I just kept going and going and going. And I'm like, I just need to be here. So I
Yeah.
think I just being present.
Yeah, I love that piece about being present because I find that because a lot of it is my personality too, where I can do 10 things at once, right? Or I feel like I can do everything. And that comes at a cost, right? That means that you may not be fully present when you're having dinner with your family, right? Because you're thinking about the next thing instead of living
Something
in that
else.
of what's going on at school or really just listening or just being fully present. So I love that you share that because I feel like a lot of moms and a lot of women struggle with actually being in the moment, each moment, and not being present like 10% or 25%. You need to be present like fully.
Right. Right.
So I love that you share that. That's a great tip that I'm working on that too.
Yeah. And it's hard, especially, being part of the social media management or doing that because, I feel like I am, on my phone and kind of, with all the technology and stuff. So taking a break from that. And that's what I need to learn too.
Mhm.
I was just thinking the other day is that we all need to just take a break, so
Yes.
having a one day or having a timeout from it is important too. So I think that's something that I need to start to implement with our family, with my
Yes.
parents, because they're a little older too and they're on it also. So it's just overall across the board.
No, that's a great idea. So as our time winds down, we talked about, you are in growth mode of building your digital content creation business. Share with our viewers where they can find you or book your services, where they can follow you, what social media platforms you are. Give us all the things of how they can get in touch with you.
Yes, thank you. So I am definitely mostly on Instagram. You can follow me on Quality of Wife and Boys, and everything is on there. So you can go to my profile, link on the bio, and actually schedule a 30-minute free consultation where we can have coffee, have cocktail, whatever suits your needs. I am flexible. I also dabble a little bit actually this next Friday with BFF, Beyond Fitness Family. I am starting actually something called, well, I created something called Fun Fit Detroit, which is something that I wanted to do for so long because I love dancing. So it's basically, a fitness dance workout, and it's just having fun, having fun with your friends, with all of the old time music, like we were talking about, summertime and all of that fun. So bringing your girlfriends, bringing on the heat, and just shaking your booty. So that is next Friday, and hopefully there'll be more in the future. So that's called Fun Fit Detroit. But yeah, and I'm Antonette Slobodian, but I think that is basically where you can find me. So Quality of Wife and Boys.
On Instagram, and the dance class that you're doing, it's going to be at BFF.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So it's the first
So
ever in person. Yes.
Okay, so I'll also include BFF's info in the description.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've taken some classes there. Haley Jarvis is amazing. So guys, if you're in
Amazing.
if you are in Macomb County or anywhere near Macomb County, take a ride out. She's on 23 Mile Road. Her facility, her all women's gym is amazing. And if you're either
Yes.
starting a business or you're trying to grow your social media presence, I want you to hit up my girl, Antoinette. She is so fun, such a light spirit, my pink sister, my boy mom
Yay!
sister. She has a bunch of tips and tricks that will definitely help your business grow on Instagram or just your presence on Instagram. So, in the spirit of women, supporting women, because I'm huge with that. If you need any help at all with your digital content creation with Instagram, I am highly recommending and referring my sister friend Antoinette. I will include all of her details in the description below. I want to thank you, my friend, for coming on my channel.
Oh my gosh, I love talking to you so much. We need to go out and have fun.
That's what I was going to say. We need to go do something. We need to meet up and go have some fun because we always have a good time when we get together. We're going to make that happen. So thank you so much. I love you. Guys, thank you for joining my channel. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button below. You know how YouTube work. I was going to say Instagram, but you know how YouTube work. Subscribe. I'm a small YouTube channel trying to grow and share a lot of gold nuggets with regards to women supporting women, being a wife, being a mom, being a believer, growing your business and all of that. So hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my content. Bye, guys. Have a great day.